Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Appleton, Wisconsin. Hello, Julie and Tammy. Thank you for joining me. I just want to make sure that everybody who's here knows that this is not going to be a stamping video, but rather our retirement list came out. And so I'm going to go through the annual catalog. I'm going to go through this mini catalog and we're going to flip through it. I have everything labeled as to, I might have made a mistake. I'm human, but I tried to be really, really careful. Hello, Amanda. When I went through it, I tried to be super, super careful so that I didn't make mistakes. Why am I doing this instead of just posting the list right away? I found that people get confused by our list. They look at something and they think that it's retiring, but the stamp set itself isn't retiring. But what's retiring is the fact that you can get it for that 10% discount as a bundle. And so sometimes it's easier just to go through the catalog. I have everything marked in a red Sharpie, and I will let you know of any sales that are coming up as well. Hello, Kathy Miller. So yeah, the list can be hard to read. Hello, Karen Cars. So I wanted to just point out though that any of the sales that I list on here do not begin until the 9th of April. So it's from the 9th of April until the end of the month in April, April 9th through the 30th. So if you see something that isn't on sale and it's something you want, I would go and get it right away before it runs out if it's retiring. If you see something that you want and you want it because it's 50% or 60% discount, you do have to wait until the 9th to get that discount. I just want to know that too. I will also point out a couple of things that I noticed when I went through the new catalog. Some price increases. You know, there's price increases everywhere. You go to the grocery store, you get clothes, everything, right, is going up a little bit. And Stampin' Up! Wasn't too bad last year with having to give price increases. There are a few things that I use all the time that I went in today because when we got to see the catalog yesterday online, I noticed that there were some price increases. And in the volume that I buy these things in, like for liquid glue, I ended up getting 10 bottles of liquid glue and I saved $5 by getting them now rather than waiting because I know I'm going to need them, right? And it's not going to go bad sitting in my counter. So I ended up ordering some of that stuff. Envelopes are going up and I love our envelopes. So I ended up ordering, I think, 8 packs of envelopes because it's that much cheaper. I know I'm going to go through it. But if you're a hobby demonstrator, you may not want to do that. But I'll point some of those things out to you as well when I go through it. All right. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to just get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to this camera. Oh, and I think when I open it that my lights will be okay. If you find there's too much of a glare, let me know that, but I think I can just lay it flat. I'm going to start with the annual catalog. So if you want to pull your annual catalog out and follow right along with me, and you want to mark the things that you want to make sure that you see, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start on Saturday. Remember how I said all of the designer paper retires? Ha! Stampin' Up! Decided to play a little trick on me. Not all of the designer paper is retiring this year. So some of it will be coming back, which is awesome because I know I have some of this stuff left. So the first one coming back is this bright and beautiful paper that will be returning. But these window sheets with the designs on them will be retiring. The stamp set's retiring. The dies are also retiring. And the dies beginning on the 9th of April will be 10% off. But if you get it as a bundle, then the stamp set's 10% off too. So if you're not going to get the bundle, then it's still cheaper to get the bundle. Okay, just want to point that out. All right, the carousel, the stamp's retiring, the bundle is retiring, and when I get to the dies in the back, they will also be retiring. Let me take this off. Let me see, where is that? It's here so that you can see this. Okay, there we go. This circle sayings is retiring. The bundle is retiring, but the 2 3/8 inch punch is coming back. So that is not returning. That is not retiring. It is returning. Hello, Linda and Betty. Okay. The Charming Sentiments retiring. The Lazy Days retiring. Bundle is retiring. Dies are going to be 20% off beginning on the 9th of April. And if I'm going too fast, let me know. I just know that it's easy just kind of circle or put a big R or whatever on yours. Swedish Cherries is retiring. The Seasonal Branches is retiring. The bundle is retiring. The dies beginning on the 9th of April will be 50% off. So then it'll be cheaper to buy them separate rather than buying them as a bundle. Dainty Delight retiring, and it's 30% off. The dies that go with this are also percentage off, but they're in the back of the book. So I'll show you that when I get to that. The Handmade Hugs is retiring on page 23 if you're following along. Page 24, both stamp sets on that page are retiring. The Nature's Print along with the Lighting the Way, retiring. The Color and Contour is also retiring. Sending Smiles on page 26 is retiring. Pansy Patch on page 27 is also retiring. Page 28, the Super Cool is retiring on the 9th of April. It will be 50% off. So if this is one that you were looking at and that you like, 50% off, $10. Those are some pretty cool stamps in there. I loved some of the cards that I received with this. And in fact, one of the swap cards that I got, I love so much that I almost bought the stamp set just because I love the swap card that she made. All right. This lemonade set, so refreshing. Everything's retiring and the dies will be 20% off beginning on April 9th. All right. On page 30 or 30 and 31, this whole Les Shops, the paper is retiring. It will be 50% off. These are those sequins, I believe. Let me just read real quick. Loose silver sequins, those are retiring. In the back of the book, I'll let you know what percentage off they are. Hi, Patty Skiba. So those are a percentage off and they are retiring, but it's in the back of the book. All of this is the stamp set dies are retiring. The dies will be 20% off beginning on February 9th. I know some of you are demonstrators on here too. This percentage you get on top of your demonstrator discount. So this is an additional discount. You still get that along with your demonstrator discount. Just making sure everybody knows that. Okay, page 32, the Sweet Citrus is retiring. It will be 20% off beginning on the 9th. I loved this stamp set. It's been around for a couple of years and this is retiring. And then on page 34, this is kind of just the flowers down here, the two-tone floral, that's retiring. The sayings are coming back. The Something Fancy is coming back. So just the one down here is retiring. All right, on page 36, both of these are coming back, unless I missed it. This one is retiring. The Petal Park is retiring. It's going to be 40% off, but that punch is coming back. I had to look at that because I'm like, okay, the punch is coming back, but the stamp set's going. But I think that the punch maybe punches that out. I can't remember. Yeah, Sentimental Park. Nope, dies. It has dies that goes with it. Sorry. I was blanking it here. All right. On page 38, this Very Best Occasion is retiring. The Apple Harvest, which has been around for a little bit, is going to be 60% off. That's a cool set for fall cards. It's going to be 60% off beginning on the 9th. This Cottage Wreaths is retiring. It's on page 39. Page 40, the Season of Chic is retiring. On page 41, this is one of those confusing ones. Stamp sets coming back, dies are coming back, but you won't be able to get it in a bundle at the 10% discount. So if you like this and you want to be able to get it at a discount, now would be the time to get it before that discount goes away for the bundle. All right, page 42, everything is retiring. And on page 43, everything is retiring. All right, on page 44, the Ringed with Nature, that stamp set is retiring. On the 9th, it will be 40% off. 45, the Celebrate with Tags, this is retiring. It will be 50% off beginning the 9th. And then we come to our Zoo Crew. Paper is retiring. I love this ribbon combo. I was kind of sad to see that go. It will be 40% off beginning the 9th of April. And I doubt that that will be around long after that, unless they have a whole lot of it. And then the stamp sets and the dies are also retiring. And I'll look in the back if there was a discount on that. I don't remember. I tried to bring it to the front because they only listed it once. Okay, page 49. Hey, Chuck, everything is retiring. The dies and the stamp set. Dies will be 20% off beginning the 9th. So if you bought the stamp set and you never got the dies, now you'd be able to get them for 20% off. All right, page 50. The Easter Bunny stamp set is retiring. It will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. And this Happy Labels has some really cool sayings in it. If you're a saying person and always looking for something to put on the inside of a card, this will be 50% off as well beginning on the 9th. Silly Goose, one of my favorites, is retiring, and it will be 50% off as well beginning on the 9th. On page 52, oh, my Taco Fiesta is going away. I love this holy guacamole. It's your birthday. And then our monkey didn't stick around too long. 1 year with our monkey. He's retiring. You'll see in the back that the punch is retiring, and so the bundle will not be available as well. And the Biggest Wish has been around for quite a few years. That is retiring. I believe it is the Christmas one that was out in the last catalog that is now in the online exclusives. So that one is still around. That kind of looks like this. All right, on page 54, the Hello Kiwi is retiring, and that will be 50% starting the 9th. And our little Shara Milkshake retiring, 50% off. So if you sat and looked at this one and you're like, do I really have to have it? The dies are also a percentage off, and I'll get to that when we get to the dies in the back. All right, and then the Phrases for All, this is retiring, 50% off beginning on the 9th. And again, we've got some big outside greetings with some little greetings that you can either put underneath the big greeting, or you can put it in the inside as well. So cool stamp set. The Friendship Royalty is retiring. Little Dreamers, retiring. The dies are going to be 10% off beginning on the 9th. The Ladybug, Hello Ladybug, is retiring. I'm on page 58. The Hedgehogs on page 59 are retiring, as are the Sweet Songbirds. But there are some more little critters coming back in the new catalog, just so you know. So we're getting rid of the Ladybug, the bird, and the hedgehog, but there'll be some new ones to take their place. This Everyday Thanks, I have this and I haven't used it yet. I was thinking this would be nice for Teacher Appreciation Week, or if you have to make a thank you note for a coach. That is retiring, along with the By My Side. Patty Skiba's on here. I bought this stamp set because she did such a cute card that at one of the shoebox swaps that we had, that I ended up buying that because of her. So I do love that stamp set. All right, Countryside Inn. The paper is staying. All right, so this is coming back. The embossing folder, which I love that embossing folder, it's retiring. It will be 40% off beginning on the 9th of April. The stamp set is retiring, which means that the bundle has to retire, but you'll see in the back that the dies will still be around. So you'll still be able to get those little Countryside Corner, I think they're called Countryside Corner dies. Those will still be around. All right. On page 64, the Lasting Joy is retiring, and it will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. And then on page 65, this is one of those confusing ones. The stamp set and the dies are returning. Both of them are returning, but you will not be able to get it at a 10% discount. So the only thing that's retiring is the bundle part of it. So if you wanted to get it at a discount, you would want to get it before the end of April. Okay, page 66, Quiet Meadow is retiring. 67, the Timeless Arrangement is retiring. So that means the bundle is retiring. And in the back, I'm pretty sure the dies are, but we'll get to the dies again when I get in the back. I don't want to definitely say that. Okay, page 68. This Darling Details, which I loved this. Actually, Kathy Miller made a card. Kathy's on here. And I bought this stamp set because she made a card that I loved. This is retiring. The bundle then is retiring. And I'm pretty sure the dies are too. They must not be a percentage off, or I tried to come up here and put the percentage off, but we'll check when we get to the back by the dies. Just My Type is retiring on page 69. And then our Earth and Elegance. The paper is retiring and it'll be 10% off beginning on the 9th. This woven, what is it called? Wavy trim is retiring. It'll be 10% off beginning on the 9th. And then all of this is retiring and the dies are going to be 20% off. And this has some really, really cool dies in it. Even if you didn't like the stamp sets or the greetings, it's got some of these really cool things that you don't need the stamps for. If that's something that you're interested in, 20% off. All right, on page 72, The Hope and Prayer is retiring. 73, Places in the Heart is going to be retiring. On page 74, This Time Together is retiring. The dies are also going away. I'll check and see if they're a percentage off when we get back by the dies. I might have messed that up and not put all of them in here. It was hard because they didn't put like the dies in here because they don't have the dies technically listed here. They're listed in the back of the catalog, so they listed them there. I tried to then go back and put them in here, but I might have missed some. The Country Bouquet on page 75 is retiring and it's 60% off. And the punch that goes with this, when we get to the punches, that will also be a percentage off as well because that's going away. So if you like this, it's a nice Valentine's set. All right, page 76. The Everlasting Beauty is retiring. I thought this was, but it might not be because I didn't mark it. Okay, that's the only thing I have on here. And that will be 10% off beginning on the 9th. All right, let's go fishing. Paper is retiring. This embossing folder is retiring and will be 20% off beginning on the 9th. Stamp set is sticking around. Dies are sticking around, but this is another one where only the bundle is retiring. So you will not be able to get the bundle, but you will be able to get the other things in there. I think when we get back to the stamp or the dies, I'll know for sure, but I'm pretty sure the dies were sticking around. All right. These two pages, 80 and 81, everything is retiring, no discount. I ended up getting a couple of really cute cards and I made some really cute ones for my card buffets because I have people that are always looking for little kids cards. All right, page 82, The Next Destination is retiring, 50% off beginning on the 9th. And then both of these stamp sets on page 83, The Sweet and Precious and He's All That are retiring. The Ocean Front is retiring on page 84. Grassy Grove is coming back. And then Wild and Sweet is retiring on page 85. Hi, Kelly Perpich. Then Stargazing. Paper is retiring, going to be 40% off. This holographic, the trio of paper, that's retiring. The stamp set and dies are retiring. The dies are going to be 10% off if you get just the dies alone. There too, it would be cheaper to keep it together and use the bundle because then the stamp set would also be 10% off. But if you just want these oval dies and these circle dies that are in here, which are really cool, I bought the dies and not the stamp set because I liked the circles and the ovals and I used them for a couple of things. All right, page 88, On the Ocean is retiring. That's it on that dual page. Page 90, we have The Fun on Wheels is retiring. The dies are in the back, but they are going to be going 40% off beginning the 9th. And there are ways for you to make a bike with the dies and not have to have the stamp set. So if you know someone who's a biker and you're thinking, oh, 40% off the dies, and I get to make this bike, maybe that's worth it to you. And you don't want the stamp set, or maybe you were like looking at it saying, well, that's worth it now. Okay. This is another one of those different ones on page 91 where both things are staying, but the bundle is retiring. Okay, so you're still going to be able to get the stamp set and the dies, but you will not be able to get the 10% discount and buy them together. All right, page 92. The Enjoy the Rhythm is retiring. It will be 50% off beginning the 9th. And the Brewed for You is retiring. The Level Complete is retiring on page 93. Inked and Tiled, or Inked Botanicals. I used this paper on Saturday and I said it was my favorite from the catalog. It is one of them that's going away. It's not coming back. It will be 20% off beginning on the 9th of April, and I would think that that would go fast. My favorite Lost Lagoon ribbon is also retiring, and the stamp set and the punches will be 20% off, but this bundle and stamp set are retiring. All right, on page 96, In the Moment is going to be retiring, and Go To Greetings is going to be retiring. These are great greetings if you're looking for something that they really are go-to greetings for me when I just need a happy birthday or a thinking of you. All right, page 98, The Bottled Happiness is retiring. The punch and these little shaker things in the back, I'll let you know what those are retiring, and they are discounted. The Bold Bouquet, this is another one where Kathy Miller made a card, and I liked it so much that I had to get it. This is retiring. The dies will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. So then it would be cheaper to buy them separate than it would be to buy them bundled. All right, on page 100, we have the Wildlife Wonder and the Scenic Wonders. Both of those are retiring. And on page 101, that Seaside Bay, which has been around a couple of years, that is retiring, and beginning on the 9th, you can get that for 50% off. So if you've looked at that for a really long time, I love this Heartfelt Sympathy that's in there. I think I had to do this for a swap one year. Okay, Masterfully Made. This is what I had to use for my big swap when the catalog came out last year. Papers retiring will be 30% off beginning the 9th. These sequins will be coming back. Okay, retiring dies will be going to 20% off. And all of the dies that are in here, you don't necessarily need the stamp set for. There's some really cool, it makes it look like a spiral, kind of like this, where it's ripped paper out of a spiral notebook, along with some dies that make it look like the paper is torn without having to actually tear it. And then you have like these big things here, and there's a label die that looks like it's torn as well. All right, on page 104, I'm going to quickly go grab a sip of something. Oh, losing my voice here. 104, Vertical Blooms. If you're ever looking for a vertical greeting, this is an awesome set. Beginning on the 9th, it'll be 50% off. And then this Days to Remember, that is retiring. That's on page 104. 106, The Marvelous Nature is retiring, and it will be 40% off. And then on 107, you got some great deals on there. The Botanical Layer, 60% off, and the Your Path Awaits, retiring at 50% off beginning on the 9th. And I saw a card that Amy Canderstamp with Amy K, I think is what hers is, that she did with this set that was just absolutely beautiful. She probably did it back in, I think it was when they were on the incentive trip, so it would have been back in May, but it was absolutely beautiful. All right, 108, we have the Love for You retiring, 50% off beginning on the 9th, and the Enchanted Butterfly retiring, and it will be 40% off beginning on the 9th. And then we come to our Daisy, Fresh as a Daisy. The designer paper is retiring, and that will be 20% off beginning on the 9th. These gems are retiring. There's like Lemon Lolly, and I think it's Boho Blue, and maybe Copper Clay or Pecan Pie. I think it's Copper Clay. Those are retiring, 40% off. And then here again, just the bundle is retiring. Stamp set dies, both sticking around, but if you want to get it as a bundle and get that 10% off, now would be the time to get it. And then on page 112, Here too, just the bundle is retiring. The dies will be back, the stamp set will be back, but you will not be able to get it as a bundle after April 30th. The Waves of Inspiration is retiring on page 113. Everything on this 2 sets is retiring. The Artistically Inked is retiring. Prized Plant will be 50% off, and the Softly Sketched will be retiring. I did a card with, no, this one right here that I absolutely loved. It's one of those distinctive stamps. Okay, page 116, Around the Bend, the stamp set is retiring. The Alphabet is retiring. This is coming back. And then we have our background stamps. So I'm on page 118. The Berry Harvest is retiring, and it will be 50% off. It's in the Stars is retiring. Rays of Light I've used a lot. That is retiring. The Spiral Die is retiring. The Timeless Tiles is retiring and will be 40% off. The Snow Crystal on page 119 is retiring and will be 50% off. And the Perfectly Detailed background stamp is retiring and will be 60% off, all beginning on April 9th. I know I've said that 100 times, but in case somebody just jumped on and they think, oh, I'm going to go order that right now. Okay, all of our in colors. So the Sweet Sorbet, the Parakeet Party, the Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, all of it is retiring. Okay, the blends, the Stampin' Blends for all of them are going to be 40% off beginning on the 9th of April. If you have these stamp sets and you don't have the re-inker, now would be the time to get it. Don't wait until the 9th of April. It will probably be gone because those things are the things that go away the fastest. I did mark here that paper is going to be going from $10 to $11.50 for a full pack of paper, so that you know that. All right. Very vanilla, thick, and I think that's on another page, so I'll wait for that. But the Very Vanilla and the Basic White is going from $10.50 to $13. So if I just ordered, I think 4 packs of Basic White because I use that a lot. I also got some Basic Black and I got some Crumb Cake. Some of the colors that I use a lot, I'm like, okay, $1.50 here, a couple of dollars here. It's all going to be worth it to get it now for me anyway, because I know I'm going to use it. All right. On page 125, I'm on now. I gotta make sure I can do this. So the Stampin' Write assortment of markers, the new core colors that are on there are going to be 50% beginning on the 9th. The new core colors, the 12 by 12 paper. So if you're a scrapbooker or you like 12 by 12 for 3D projects that you have, that will be 10%. The 12 by 12 paper of the in colors that are retiring is going to be 10%. And the Stampin' Write markers of the in colors that are retiring will be 50% beginning on the 9th of April. And I know on my live on Saturday, I said the 2nd of April. That's when we can pre-order, and I mixed that up. So it is the 9th. All right, page 126. I have to get me some of these when they go on sale. 6 by 8 cellophane bags. I use a lot of these because when I want to put some different little projects in there, I use those all the time. But those are going to be 10% off and they're retiring. Oh, I should say up here, Very Vanilla thick cardstock is retiring. Okay, the Very Vanilla regular cardstock will be back. They're also introducing a beige, a basic beige, which is a little bit light. It kind of looks a lot like Sahara Sand maybe from the pictures, but I haven't been able to compare it to that. So don't quote me on that one. And I haven't seen any of the stuff in person because I didn't go to Houston. The treat bags, the in color treat bags are retiring. They will be 30% off beginning on the 9th. And this little envelope treat boxes will be 40% off. So I know that when the little boxes that were in the holiday catalog, when those went percentage off, I bought some of those. We're using them for little gifts for my niece's bridal shower this summer. So if you've got something like that coming up where you might want to decorate one of these up and put it as a treat, now would be the time to get some of those for if you have anything like that coming up. Vellum cardstock retiring. I don't know what they're replacing it with. I would think they're probably going to be replacing it with something, but don't quote me on that. I don't know if it'll be something that's an online exclusive, but there's no vellum in the new catalog at all. So at least I couldn't find it. All right, page 127. There's a lot retiring on here. So I already mentioned the holographic trio pack. The white centered paper, which is this stuff right here, will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. This rose gold that's up here in the number 4 is going to be 10% off beginning on the 9th. The textured shimmer paper, which is right spring catalog, this will be 40% off. Hi, Karen. And hi, Melanie. I don't think I said hello to you either. The More Dazzle is retiring. It just got me some of that. The Soft Shimmer, which has like a Fresh Freesia Berry Burst, I think that's Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. That is going to be retiring. It has like a really tiny little shimmer to it, not quite as bold as like a glimmer paper, but on those lines. The 2022-2024, that's this paper right here. It has kind of like a texture to that paper. That will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. And then this is kind of like a, it's called Luster. It has a little bit of a shine to it as well. In last year's In Colors, that will be 30% off, and that will be retiring. And sadly, the Distressed Gold is retiring. Okay, so that's all of it. Hello, Mary. And then we have our paper. Now, some of this I went through already. These two are coming back. This Delightfully Eclectic is going to be retiring, and it'll be 50% off. That's a good deal for that because it's $30. You get 48 sheets. Oh, and so it would be 48 sheets for $15. All right, I mentioned the Earth and Elegance 10%, Fresh as a Daisy 20%. The Glorious Gingham is retiring, and that will be 20% beginning on the 9th. I mentioned the Inked Botanicals 20%. Fishing Paper is retiring. The Le Shops, if that's how you pronounce that, 50% off beginning on the 9th. Masterfully Made, 30% off beginning on the 9th. The Stargazing, 40% off. Zany Zoo is retiring. Then we've got our In Color. So this In Color package, which we are not In Colors, but our family, like the designer series paper packs that come by for the family. So the 2023-2025, that would be like the boho blue and all of the ones that are listed here. That will be 50% off beginning on the 9th. The In Colors that are retiring with the Sweet Sorbet, the Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, those will be 40% off. The Brights will be 10%. The Neutrals will be 10%. The Regals will be 30%. And the Subtles will be 20%. Why are they different? Probably because of how much they have in stock. They probably have a lot of this and they need to get rid of it. And they probably have less of this, so they don't have as much that they have to get off their hands. That would be my guess. I already mentioned that the window sheets that have like the stars and stuff, the gold stars and stuff, that's retiring. And then the Vellum Basics, there's like a polka dotted and a striped, and I think there's one that has like leaves on it. That's retiring, and it'll be 40% off. So see, no vellum. It's all gone. I couldn't find any new stuff either. So we'll see what happens. I'm a person who likes vellum. All right. Now, page 135. We've got the Bright and Beautiful Memories and More card pack retiring and 30% off. The Bright and Beautiful Memories and More cards and envelope retiring and 40% off. The basic white 3x3 envelopes are retiring. The craft note cards and envelopes. This comes in a little box that you can put them in and gift them in afterwards. That is retiring, and it'll be 10% off beginning on the 9th. I love these. And I think if there's still some left on the 9th, I might be getting some as some little gifts that we can give away at the shower as well. All right, our medium envelopes are going from $8.50 a pack to $11. Can you see why I ordered a whole bunch of packs? The Very Vanilla is going away. So the Very Vanilla is going to be retiring, and the Very Vanilla note cards and envelopes will also be retiring. I couldn't write retire on all of these, so some of them just have an R. I knew what that meant. Okay, page 136. The decorative masks that are these that are in this like grayish color, those are retiring, and those are going to be 10% off beginning on the 9th of April. The ones up here that are white colored, those are also retiring. They will be 40% off beginning on the 9th of April. All right, embossing powders. It says that they're both retiring, the basics and the metallics. And I thought, oh, good, it's going to come back and you can just get white or you can just get like the metallics. They're back in the new catalog, but they're just named something different. So I'm thinking, and like I said, I wasn't in Houston, so I don't know all the details, but I'm thinking like maybe they got a different distributor for them and they're just a little bit different. And so they had to name them a little bit different because now they're called Wow Stampin' Emboss powders, but they have the same colors. So the black, the clear, and the white are together, and the copper, the gold, and the silver together. But they just put the word wow in front of them. So my guess is they have a new distributor and they had to name them something different. That would just be a guess. I don't know that for sure. The Heat and Stick powder, which is an embossing powder, that is retiring and will be 30% off beginning on the 9th of April. Everything is staying on this page. Everything is staying on this page. I did mention mini glue dots are going from $5.75 to $7.25. Multi-purpose liquid glue is going just up 50 cents, so $5.50 to $6. So it's not that much, but when you go through as much as I do, that's a huge savings for me to get a whole bunch ahead of time. All right, page 139. If we look at some of the bling, everything on this page is retiring. The iridescent shaker circles are going to be 30% off beginning on the 9th. The loose silver sequence, that's what I used in that Easter shaker card that I did with the little bunny. Those will be 10% off. I love Brad's. Those will be retiring and be 40% off. And then these little daisy embellishments, which we've had for about a year and a half, those will be 40% off beginning on the 9th. All right. I didn't write up here. I wrote down more down here because I had to look at the names, but I'll point them out to you. The iridescent pastel gems retiring, and they will be 40% off. The festive pearls, which have like the red, the green, the silver, and the gold. They're kind of tiny pearls, retiring, and they'll be 30% off. The in color pearls, which are tiny little pearls, are retiring as well. And then the iridescent rhinestones, but they are coming out with something else that looks pretty cool too. So there will be something to replace them. These are going to be 40% off beginning on the 9th. All right, 141. The rustic metallic adhesive back. This is my manly card go-to, but there is something coming out in the new catalog that can be for your manly cards as well. So this is going away. They will be 20% off beginning on the 9th. The classic matte dots are going away, but they will be 40% off beginning on the 9th. And then the brushed metallic. These are the, it's like a copper, what is it? Bronze, copper, and gold. And they will be 20% off beginning on the 9th. The in color dots that have the boho blue, copper clay, that whole set, there's like 3 different sizes of each one. Those are retiring and will be on sale for 10% beginning on the 9th. These opaque ovals are retiring. They'll be on sale for 40% off beginning on the 9th. The pastel sequence, so it's like a gold, a pink, and a blue. Those are retiring. They will be 40% off beginning on the 9th. The gilded leafing, I have this, and it is so cool, but I always forget that I have it. My mom saw it in my stamp room one day, and she goes, "What is this?" And I showed her what it did. She goes, "Oh, that's really cool." Yeah, it's kind of messy, and I always forget that I have it. But that will be going away, and it'll be 40% off beginning on the 9th. And then those bottle shaker domes will be 40% off beginning on the 9th, and they will be going away. Ribbon. All the ribbons going away. Can I just say all the ribbons going away? But there's such cool ribbon coming in store. So just be patient. And if you like ribbon, you're going to get some good deals here. All right. The herringbone ribbon I'm on page 143, retiring 20% off beginning on the 9th. Balmy blue and white is going to be 40% off beginning on the 9th. The balmy blue and white with the stitching in it. This one's the variegated. This is the stitching, 40% off. This pool party ribbon is awesome. And it will be 40% off. If you want to get a start on getting some stuff for some Christmas cards next year, this is Real Red and Garden Green ribbon, which ties in really, really nice bows. 30% off beginning on the 9th. Oh, Night of Navy. I love this ribbon. 40% off beginning on the 9th. Then we have our textured ribbon that's in all of the in colors that were new this year. So the Wild Wheat is 40% off. Copper Clay 20%. Moody Mauve 40%. Boho Blue 40%. Pebbled Path 30%. Again, why the discrepancy? Probably depends on what they have for inventory right now. This Real Red and Burlap ribbon is so cool. 40% off beginning on the 9th. And this is Misty Moonlight that has like a braided white, there's like a white braid in the center of it. 30% off beginning on the 9th. This one is a little bit thicker ribbon, just so you know that. It isn't something that I would probably tie in a bow or even a knot. I would probably just run it as a trim across a card. Oh, can we all have a sad party here? Black and white gingham ribbon, retiring 10% off. The vanilla and black, which is just a little bit thicker, is going to be back. So we don't have to worry about that. But oh, I was sad to see that. The pecan pie ribbon is retiring. And then this combo pack of the Bubble Bath Lemon Lolly and the Azure Afternoon, 30% off beginning on the 9th. All right, 144. Lost Lagoon ribbon retiring. Ribbon Dual Combo Pack retiring, 40% off after the 9th. All of these are the metallic ribbon that's just 1/8 of an inch thick, and all of the in colors that are retiring, they will all be 40% off. The vanilla and gold satin edged ribbon, 40% off. Silver threaded twine. I didn't like this all that much because it was always too thick for me, but that'll be 40% off. The wavy trim, 10% off. Oh, Simply Elegant trim is retiring. But we do have the silver and the gold that's on the online exclusives that's still available. This in color trim is coming back. The linen thread is coming back. The Baker's twine with the in colors that are retiring, all of them are 50% off, or it's a pack and you get all of the colors and it's 50% off. Oh, lots of ribbon going away, but lots of new ribbon coming, right? With every goodbye, there's a hello, right? Okay, our punches. I already mentioned the Inkton Tile Punch Pack retiring, 20% off. Monkey is retiring, and the Banners Pick a Punch that has like the banner going in each direction. All of those are retiring. Look at all these retiring punches. That Country Bouquet, I think the stamp set was 50 or 60% off. The punch is 50% off. Dragonflies, dual dragonflies, different sizes, 50% off. Lasting Label is retiring. Handmade Tag is retiring, 20% off. The Easter Bunny, 20% off. The Cloud, 50% off. A Decorative Circle is retiring. Double Oval is retiring. Very Best Trio. So this is one where it has like 3 different places where you can put the corner in and kind of make a tag or make a little slit to put ribbon through on a tag. 50% off. Cherry Builder, 50% off. Songbird Builder, 50% off. Hedgehog, 50% off. Sailboat Builder, 50% off. Vintage Bottle, 50% off. Best Label, that little tiny 30% off. And the Ladybug Builder, 40% off. So lots of punches retiring. One thing that I did notice in the new catalog, if you are a punch lover, some of the stamp sets can either be bundled with a die label or it can be bundled with a punch. So if you like punches over dies, there's going to be some options for you in some of the bundles in the new catalog, which I thought that was kind of cool. Right, this I was kind of surprised at, I'm not going to lie. On page 151, the smallest block, the little square in an A is retiring. I think this is I gotta look, B, C, D, E, F. So G is retiring and I. So A, G, and I are no longer going to be. So that means that this bundle where you could get all of them is retiring. And also this box that has a place for each one of them to go is going to be retiring because they're not going to have all of them anymore. All right. Wanted to point out that cutting plates are going up from $13 to $14. So if you need new cutting plates, get them before the 30th. $1 isn't that much, but okay. Beautiful balloons. Retiring dies, 10%. The bold bouquet, 50% off these dies. I think I told you that already. The carousel horse is retiring. It's not a percentage off. Nothing. These are retiring, the Darling Details, but they are not a percentage off. The Earth and Texture bundle, I think I told you already, the dies are 20%. The Fun on Wheels is 40%. And this Gorgeously Made is 20%. The fishing is coming back. It's not going to be in a bundle. Hey Chuck, I think I told you is 20%. The Lazy Days is 20%. The Let's Go Shopping is 20%. And the Little Dreamers is 10%. The Reach for the Stars is 10%. Those are the ones with the circles and the ovals that I told you about. The Seasonal Branches, 50%. The So Refreshing, 20%. So those are all the dies. Not the bundles, but the dies. Time Together, I don't think I had this on there, that it was 50%. This is retiring and it's 50%. I'm pretty sure I had the time. Maybe I didn't have the Timeless Arrangement is 20%. And the Zany Zoo is 30%. I might have missed putting those in with the actual bundles. All right. And then our dies that aren't in bundles. All That retiring and 40% off. Artistic retiring and 50% off. Aspen Trees, 40% off. Basic Borders, 40% off. That's the one that you can make that little cloud and make like a little zigzag. The Brood, 50% off. The Brilliant Backgrounds, 50% off. The Chic dies retire 50% off. The Christmas Pine Cone, 50% off. Country Wreaths, 10% off. The Cracker and Treat Box, 20% off. The Dainty Delight is 50% off. And this is the one that I said the stamp set was also like 50 or 60% off. So that's a good deal for that bundle. This Delightful Doily Hybrid, which will cut the doily and it will emboss it, 50% off. Dots and Spots, 40% off. Again, all of these percentages off begin on the 9th of April. Give It a Whirl, 50% off. Gorgeous Garden, 30% off. The Labels Aglow, 50% off. The Lighting the Way, 50% off. Love for You, 60% off. I think the stamp set was also 50, so that's a really good deal if you wanted to get all of that together. The Meadow dies, 50% off. The Natural Prints, 50% off. This has some cool ones that even if you don't have the stamp set, there's some cool dies in there. The On the Ocean, 50%. Pansy, 50%. Oh, Paper Florist. All these different flowers that you can build with this stamp set, 50% or dies, 50% off. That's a really good deal. I loved this patchwork pieces as well, where it would cut the paper and you could patch different designs in there. That's retiring, not a percentage off, however. This Petal Patterns background is really cool too, and that one is 50% off. All right, Reindeer, 40% off. Scalloped Contours. I'm going to miss this one. Not going to lie. Love those. But there are some really, really cool dies with circles and with some ovals and things that are coming in. So there'll be some cool stuff to replace it. 30% off. The Seaside Bay, 60% off. And I think the stamp set was 50 or 60. So that's a really good deal. The Sending dies, 50%. The Sentiment Silhouettes, 50% off. The stamp set wasn't anything off, but the stamp set is retiring. Share Milkshake, that stamp set was a percentage off, and the dies are also 50% off. All right, so we've got our Stitched with Whimsy, 40% off. The Citrus, Sweet Citrus Hybrid, 50% off. The TaylorMade tags are retiring. The Tree Rings Hybrid, 60% off. That stamp set, I think, was also 50 or 60% off. So that's a good deal if you wanted to get those together. The Two-Tone Floral, 50% off. And the Waves, 50% off. Embossing folders. Cascading Ruffles is going away, 50% off. Again, all starting after the 9th of April through the end of April. The Elegant Eucalyptus, 50% off. Geometric Patterns, 40% off. The Merry Medley is retiring. The Painted Posy 3D is 50%. Quatrefoil Tile, I just used this one for a swap, 40% off. Raindrops, 50%. I love the Stripes and Splatters, 50% off. It's one of those smaller ones. So are these two right here where you get two of them. And then the Citrus Hybrid, again, I just did that one with the die cutting, but it's a hybrid, so it's 50%. Time Worn Type, 40% off. The Tree Rings, I just said that one, 60%. And then that Twisted Rope that was with the fishing is 20% off. So Time Worn Type is going away, but they're keeping Exposed Brick, and I think those are very similar. So I'm okay with that. And some of the embossing folders that they have coming in, holy cow, I'm going to go broke because they are so cool. All right. And then, of course, we have our two Hostess sets that are retiring. So that is our annual catalog, provided I haven't missed anything. What time is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm almost an hour in. This is a smaller catalog. I wanted to get the bigger one out of the way. Now we'll go through the smaller one. And honestly, less seems to be retiring from here. They're carrying a lot of this stuff over. I'm going to grab a sip real quick. All right. So grab your mini catalog. Get ready to mark it up. Here we go. Okay, Be Mine. Everything is retiring except the stamp set and the punch. So the paper, these, the ribbon, because it's Sweet Sorbet is going away. These little pillow boxes will be 20% off. The bundle is retiring, but the punch and the stamp set will be coming back. You'll still be able to get it, just not at the 10% discount. Okay, here the bundle is retiring, but the stamp set and the dies will be coming back. Bundle for the Heartfelt Hexagon, the bundle is retiring, but you will be able to get the punch and the stamp set when the punch is back in stock, which is not going to be until the middle of or end of April, I think. Bundle is retiring. Stamps and dies will both still be available for the Hooray for Surprises. Forever Love, the paper is retiring. The bundle is retiring, but you'll still be able to get each one individually. The ribbon's coming back. This paper is retiring. And these gems, I think, are coming back. For some reason, I don't remember seeing them in the new catalog, but I didn't mark them, so I'm pretty sure that they're coming back. All right. For the Delicate Forest, coming back, but you will not be able to get it as a bundle. So if you wanted to get this as a bundle before April 30th, you should do it. All of this is coming back, the Adorning Hearts and the Thoughtful Moments. At least I think it is. I didn't mark anything on there. Hills of Tuscany is retiring. The Wild Fern, the bundle is retiring, but you can get the stamps and you can get the dies. And I think that's why, was it Timeless something or other that was in there that was just in there for 1 year. But these dies are very similar to that. And I think they just wanted to keep one of them maybe. All right. So the Sweet here is retiring, but you can get everything else that's on here, except, let me look here. The suite is retiring. Let me look. The bundle retires, but the stamps and dies are still available for the painted lavender. Okay. For the perennial postage, the stamp set, so all of these greetings are retiring. The bundle is retiring, but the dies are coming back. So the postage dies, the perennial postage dies are coming back. This bundle, the stamps and the dies are going away, but the bundle will not be available. And then all of these things, these gems, the paper, the butterflies, all of that is coming back. Nice, right? I love that. All of this is retiring. I'm on page 26, the Easter lilies. All of the excellent eggs is retiring. In the everyday details, the bundle is retiring, but the stamp set and the dies will still be available. So you can't get it as a bundle after the 30th and save the 10%, but it will be available. I don't remember seeing this in the new catalog, but I didn't mark it. Let me just look real quick on that while I'm on here, because I can pull it up real quick on my computer. What page is this? 29. Page 29. Nope, it's coming back. All right. That's coming back. The bundle is retiring, but the stamp set and the dies are coming back. So that is for the flower cart. Need to get back to this. There we go. All right. Lighter than air, the paper. So I used this last Saturday and I said it's probably going to be retiring. I was right. It's retiring. The stamps and the dies are coming back. The bundle is retiring. This is coming back, the baker's twine, and these little dots are coming back, which I love those. So that's awesome, right? All right, stamp set is retiring. All of this, I'm just going to look. I don't remember seeing that in the catalog either, but I went through the catalog really fast. 37. Ice cream swirl bundle. Bundle is retiring. I forgot to put this down here. So the bundle is retiring, but none of the other stuff on here is retiring. Okay, so just the bundle is retiring. Sorry about that. Okay, on page 38, the Enduring Beauty. Those are the ones that have, I got to get back so I can see if I'm on the screen here. Oh, yeah. The one that has these decorative masks, you could buy that all as a bundle. The bundle is retiring and you have to buy everything individually and not get the 10% discount. Okay, Nature Sweetness. The paper's coming back. These cork rounds are retiring. The bundle only for this is retiring. The faux leather trim is retiring, and I think I wrote it on this other page, but this is, yes, all retiring. And these dies that are in here that I loved, I love this little edge die. That is going to be 20% off after the 9th of April. Okay, so this bundle only is retiring. So the stamp set Lovely and Sweet is coming back. The dies Lovely and Sweet are coming back. Everything on this page, the Notes of Nature, those are retiring, and the dies will be 20% off beginning on the 9th of April. The phone, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go here. Memories and More, page 44. The card pack is retiring, 40% off. The cards and envelope retiring and 20% off. The Let's Chat, the little phone, that is retiring, 20% off after the 9th. Okay, both of these background stamps on page 46 are coming back, and so is the stamp set on page 47. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm being honest. All right, the paper is retiring. The bundle is retiring, but both the stamp set and the dies will be coming back. And the gems are these iridescent foil gems. They will be coming back. All right. This stamp set and dies will be coming back, but the bundle only will be retiring on page 51, The Bright Skies. So a lot of what's in this catalog is coming back. It's just not going to be bundled. Okay. The Submarine Life coming back, just won't be bundled. Cutest Cow is coming back. It just will not be bundled. Rock and Roll. Everything is retiring. Okay. The paper, the stamp set, 20% off. Dies, 10% off. And then these little, what are they called? Adhesive back lightning and stars. Those are retiring as well. Okay, again, those discounts begin on April 9th. Okay, the Trusty Tools is coming back, but you can't get it as a bundle after April 30th. So, and then this is coming back. The Beaches Day is coming back. Just can't get it as a bundle again. Page 58. The Cliffs by the Ocean is retiring, and that will be 30% off beginning on the 9th of April. This, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked by this one. Paper is retiring. Stamp set is returning. Dies are retiring. Love these dies, right? Loved those stitched dies. But I do have to say there are some really, really cool ones in the new catalog that I probably like more. But I was kind of surprised about that. I'm not going to lie. And then these little champagne loose iridescent dots, those are coming back. All right, so retiring is the dies. The bundle then has to retire, but the stamp set will be back. This will be back. The bundle for Stippled Roses is retiring, but both the stamp set and the dies will be back. And that will be back. And I don't think I went through any of these because I did do all of the things that were retiring with it. So I think the only thing, the brayer is coming back. That's the only other thing that I don't think I talked about. And then this Carnival Treats is retiring. Whew, a lot, right? Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and come back to you. All right. I do have to say that I saw I was able to, and if, I know a lot of you who are on here might be demonstrators, and we're able to see the new catalog online. I will warn those of you that haven't seen it online, it is arranged very, very differently than other Stampin' Up! Catalogs that I've seen. Our catalogs have all kind of been the same as far as their arrangement over the years that I've been a demonstrator. And this one is very different. But I think that that's good. I think sometimes change is something that's good. And I know that when I worked in retail, they always told us that we needed to move where things were every little bit, so that people would have to search and find it and find new things that they maybe wouldn't have seen otherwise. So when you get the new catalog, or when you get a chance to see the new catalog, if you're looking at it and you're saying, I don't really like this, give it some time. Because I know when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, it's going to be really hard for me to find things because I'm used to how our catalogs are now. But as I looked at it more last night and I was looking at different things, I'm like, I'm seeing things together that I wouldn't have maybe put together. And I'm having to look a little bit more closely at things to be able to find the things that I'm looking for. There's a wonderful index in the back. And I looked at the last pages and I'm like, oh, this index tells me exactly where to find the adhesives, tells me exactly where to find the envelopes. It tells me exactly where to find each of the stamps, and it gives me the number of the stamps. So I do have to say that, and I do like in the new catalog how in this annual catalog at the front, I would say this stamp set is retiring, and then the dies for it, because they weren't a bundle anymore, were in the back. They still have the stamp set and the dies next to each other. They just don't have a bundled price. So you can see the dies that go with the stamp set if they're not something that was in an old catalog and aren't bundled, which I thought that was really, really nice. So there are pluses to everything. Yes, change is good all around, Kathy Miller. I agree with you 100%. And my mom's favorite saying is it is what it is. And I always try to remember at work, control the controllables, right? So some things are out of our control, so we can control the things that are in our control. So if I have to do something different to my catalog to make it work for me, I'll do something different for my catalog to make it work for me. But speaking of the new catalog, if you have placed an order with me in the last year, I did automatically have Stampin' Up! Send you a catalog, and those will be going out. I believe they said that they are going out the beginning of April, maybe. If you are a demonstrator, those catalogs are starting to ship. I believe it was today, but they ship in different groups and stuff. So if you don't have it by, I believe they said a date, and I can put that on here, that you were supposed to let them know at the home office. But otherwise, you should be getting your copy of the catalog in the mail if you are a demonstrator. I know a lot of you on here are demonstrators. If you are a customer and you haven't placed, or you've been a customer in the past, you watch me and you don't get a catalog, just let me know. I do order extra catalogs, and I'm happy to get a catalog off in the mail to you because there are some really great ideas in there. So I have to go finish making a couple of cards for my stamp club, which I have this weekend. I have 2 cards that I have to make yet. So I'm going to do that tonight and get everything cut. And it might be a late night, but that's all right. I'm happy to have been with you. Hopefully this is helpful to you. I will also post the list if you want to take a look at it. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes or goof anything up. I tried to be pretty careful about it last night while I was looking at it, but I'm not going to lie, The Bachelor was on at the same time. So yeah, I'm addicted. It's sad to say. Anyhow, I hope you have a good rest of the week. I will see you at 8:30 on Saturday morning with some actual stamping. Have a great evening and great rest of the week. Bye-bye.